Hey bestie, does this sound like you? You're a female boudoir photographer who knows she's talented, but the income just isn't matching the effort. You're deeply creative, heart led, and a little overwhelmed by the business side of photography. You feel like you're doing all the things, but not seeing consistent results. You crave a simple system that actually works and keeps working. You're not sure where your time should be going, so everything feels urgent and exhausting. If you've ever thought, I love this work, but I can't keep running myself into the ground, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So, introducing the 4 steps to a 6 figure boudoir photography business without burning yourself out. This isn't hustle culture. This isn't another course that collects dust. This is a soft but strategic, nervous system friendly approach to building a boudoir business that supports your life, not consumes it. So, over 4 days, we'll focus on clarity, alignment, and repeatable systems so that you can stop guessing and start feeling grounded in your business. In this 4 day live workshop, you'll learn how to build a jaw dropping portfolio. Create a portfolio that reflects your style, not trends you secretly hate, attracts the right clients effortlessly, feels authentic, aligned, and confidence boosting. No more shooting just to have content. Every image will have a purpose, right? We'll create an aligned price list on day 2, design pricing that feels good in your body, supports high sales without constant changes, allows flexibility only when you want it to, and this is where sustainability meets self-trust. On day 3, I'm going to show you how to show up professionally online, how to create a polished professional online presence, even if you don't have a website yet, without overthinking or perfectionism, in a way that builds trust before clients ever inquire. Simple, clean, and effective. And on the final day, we're going to talk about rinse and repeat marketing strategies. We'll map out a marketing strategy that feels doable, not draining. Keep you booked 3 months out if that's what you want. If you want to just be booked 1 month out, that's fine too. Work on repeat without reinventing the wheel, and marketing that supports your energy instead of stealing it. So by the end of this workshop, you'll have a clear, easy process that leads to higher sales, systems that support consistency instead of chaos, confidence in where to spend your time and energy, a business that creates space for your real life. So then you can be present with your kiddos on the weekends, take time off without guilt, save for that retreat you've been dreaming about, and actually enjoy the business you worked so hard to create. Now, there's also an upgrade to an all access pass. So, this is for the photographer that wants deeper support and long term ease. And what's included with that is lifetime access to the recordings in the full workshop. You also get the bonus of the profitable pricing guide for boudoir photographers. It's a step by step guide to pricing with confidence and intention. And then the first 10 people that sign up for the all access pass, you get a 30-minute one-on-one mentoring call with me for personalized support for your business, your season you're going through, and your goals. Once again, that's only limited to 10 spots. So if you're interested, hop on over to the link in the show notes and we'll get you started. On January 19th is when we're holding the workshop. Enrollment closes on January 3rd. And I also wanted to note that this isn't something that's always available. I want to see how many people are interested in this and see how much value it brings to you. So once again, where you can go for that is bbquinnphotography.com/4-steps-workshop, or you can just go to my website at bbquinnphotography.com, or even better, bethanyquinnstudios.com/for-photographers. And to enroll in that workshop, you just scroll to the bottom of the page and it's right there. So if you need any help or any guidance, feel free to send me a message here or wherever you listen to your episodes. And I cannot wait to see you over in the workshop. Hey love, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Bethany Quinn, And before we dive in, I want you to take a deep breath with me. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, let your nervous system know it's safe to be here. Go in for 4, hold for 4, and release for 8 if you can. If you're listening while editing, driving, folding laundry, or sneaking in a quiet moment, I see you. And I'm really glad you pressed play today. Today's episode is a heart-led one. We're talking about building a successful boudoir photography business, the kind that brings in real income without burning yourself out, abandoning your creativity, or feeling like your business owns you. And I want you to know right now, if you've been feeling tired, overwhelmed, or quietly questioning whether this is sustainable, nothing has gone wrong. You're not broken. You're just ready for a gentler way. I talk to so many boudoir photographers who love this work deeply. I mean, why not, right? What's there not to love? You love empowering women, you love creating art, you love the connection. But behind the scenes, there's also exhaustion. There's confusion about pricing, there's pressure to post consistently. There's this feeling of I'm doing too much. Why isn't this translating into consistent income? And often the industry response is do more. Wasn't that a platform for a while called Do More? God. Okay. More shoots, more content, more offers, more hustle. But here's the truth I want to offer you gently. Burnout is not the price of success. If your business feels chaotic, it doesn't mean you're failing. It usually means you're missing structure that actually supports you and that is sustainable. When people hear 6-figure business, I kind of I went back. I was struggling with this with the name of the workshop that we're hosting on the 19th. Um, when I hear that, I'm like, oh, okay. But when you sometimes when you think of 6-figure business, there's often this image of nonstop work, packed with calendars and zero breathing room, right? But what if the 6-figure boudoir business could look like a clear system, fewer, better aligned clients, predictable income, time off without guilt, and space for your actual life? Hey, that's great. Money doesn't have to come from chaos. And that's something I am also learning is that I don't have to overwork myself in order to bring in a hefty income. More rest, less work, more income, which seems counterintuitive, right? But money doesn't have to come from chaos. In fact, the most profitable businesses I see are often the simplest ones. They aren't consistently changing direction. They aren't reinventing everything every month. They have a strong foundation and they repeat. You can repeat the process over and over again. So I created the 4 steps to a 6-figure boudoir photography business workshop, or creating it, so to speak, because I remember what it feels like back when I had my big burnout. I think of it as like, oh, my big burnout meltdown. Great. And so I want to help you prevent that. And I've learned these systems over time where it's like, I quit second guessing my pricing. I felt like I was always behind on marketing. And then I know I was talented, but unsure of how to turn that into consistent income. That came previously to the burnout, but there was something that was like, I'm sick of adjusting all of my prices because of something that's going on in the world with the economy, right? I mean, let's be honest, it does happen. And that goes against what I've said in the past, but it there are, depending on where you are in the world too, there are fluctuations that happen. I feel like it's worse during an election year versus, people are afraid to spend money because of geographical location. Anyway, I also remember the moment things started to soften and it wasn't so hard. Not because I worked harder, but because I finally built systems that held me. This workshop isn't about overnight success, it's about stability. It's about creating a business that feels safe to grow inside of. So, well, some of the things that we're talking about in the workshop too is even if you have a portfolio, think of this, and even if you don't, how to create a jaw dropping and aligned portfolio. Your portfolio is more than pretty images, it's a boundary, it's a filter, it's an invitation. When your portfolio truly reflects who you are and what you want to shoot, it does so much of the heavy lifting for you. You stopped attracting clients who want something you don't love creating or that pull you in a million directions during a session because what you show is what you're going to shoot. You stop feeling like you need to prove yourself, and we'll talk about how to curate with intention, not pressure, too, during the workshop, which seems really insane and exciting. So step two, on day two, we'll talk about aligned pricing that feels steady. If pricing feels stressful or wobbly, that's your body asking for clarity. Let me just like break that down for you. So in the workshop, we'll create pricing. I don't want it to be like, and this is the price list, the end. I want this to also reflect in how it can support you in creating high sales that feels ethical and clean too. And I don't want to say that high sales aren't ethical. I feel like there's a way that you can go about selling to people that is unethical, but your pricing should reflect it's going to reflect how you value yourself in this creative space too, in the work that you create. And it won't require a lot of tweaking. Pricing should feel grounding, not activating, right? And if it's activating, that's something worth exploring. The third day, we're going to talk about how to build a professional online presence without the perfectionism, because I feel like 70% of the time, when it comes to working with students, it's all about perfectionism, or they're feeling like, oh, it's not ready yet. I can't launch this into the world just yet. And the thing is like, done is better than perfect. How many times have you heard that? And then you can tweak it later. Nothing is ever perfect. So just throw that out the window and take the pressure off yourself, because it's never perfect, because it's constantly evolving. If things are perfect, that means they're going to stay the same forever. It will be static. And I feel like this feeling in my throat of like suffocation for some reason. Like you need to constantly like breathe life into it for it to move, for it to go forward. And that's not what perfectionism is. So you don't need a perfect website. You don't need to be everywhere. So just take a deep breath again with that. You do need a presence that builds trust before someone ever messages you. And we'll focus on simplicity, consistency, and showing up in a way that feels natural to you. And then on the final day, we'll be talking about marketing that repeats and also respects your energy, which is super awesome. And this is where so much burnout happens. I feel like where my burnout happened was when I was doing a system where it was like, okay, I am booking shoots 3 days a week, every single week for the next 3 months, because I thought that was more sustainable for myself. I was doing 4 a week and then I backed down to 3. And it was like I was starting from scratch every single time, and everyone was at different places in their sort of timeline with me. And that was like, okay, I gotta make sure that this email gets sent out to this person, and I gotta make sure that this person's showing up for their Zoom call, or that they're going to show up for their phone consultation. And then I have to send my pricing to this person. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't keep track of every single thing. Even with my CRM, that was helpful. it still didn't make me feel like I needed a space that had like a 100, like a 18,000, or what do they say? What is that? Like, oh yeah, look at your business from 18,000 feet. And it's like, I still don't understand what that means until I could see the moving pieces of like who needed what, and who needed what information, and where these people were in the pipeline of my business. So I went on a little bit of a tangent there. So let me see in my notes where I am. Oh yeah, this is where the burnout happens. It doesn't Marketing doesn't have to be consistent. It can be intentional. And I will also show you strategies on how you can reuse, refine, and rely on content so you can be booked 3 months out if you want, but also without feeling like you have to be glued to your phone, right? So imagine this lifestyle shift and imagine knowing what to do each week in your business. Imagine weekends that are actually yours. Imagine taking time off without panic. This isn't about working less for the sake of it, it's about working supported. You deserve a business that leaves room for rest, for family, creativity, and to enjoy your horse on the weekend. That was the whole structure of all of this shifting for me. And then, if this episode feels like a deep exhale, I want to personally invite you to the 4-day live workshop. This is for boudoir photographers who are ready for clarity instead of chaos, strategy without burnout, growth that feels safe. And there's also an all access pass if you want lifetime access to the recordings and a profitable pricing guide. And the option for the first 10 people that sign up for the all access pass get a 30-minute one-on-one mentoring call with me. So there's no pressure, just an open door. I'm going to include the link in the show notes and the description. And in case YouTube is being weird about the links, because they have been weird, technology doesn't always work in our favor. So what you can do is you can go to my website at bethanyquinnstudios.com/for photographers, and you can scroll all the way down where it says, like for the live workshop, 4 steps to a 6-figure boudoir photography business without burning yourself out. And you can click on the button there. And we are officially open for enrollment until the 1st. Now, keep in mind, this isn't something that's open all the time. You have access to sign up for enrollment before January 3rd. And if you're really hoping to do that all access pass, make sure you sign up and everything else before, like as soon as possible, so then you can get one of those one-on-one mentoring spots with me, because I would love, love, love to see where you are in this season of your business. If you're just starting out, if you've been doing this for a while, I would love to see how I can help you. And I hope to see you over there. So before you go, I want you to hear this. You are allowed to build success gently. You are allowed to rest. And you are allowed to want both income and peace. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you all have a happy holiday. I'll see you inside the workshop on the 19th. Be sure to sign up before the 3rd of January. Or, due to the holiday, I'll meet you right back here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to take some time off in honor of resting and resetting. So please take care of yourself, and I will catch you all on the next episode, okay? Have a wonderful holiday.